a best of 1 to BSG as well, quite convincingly, 7-4. So I think that map 1, it couldn't be better for Talon.
All right, well, it's map 1 indeed. Last time around, these two made it very close to each other. It's Clubhouse, our first map of the best of 3. Hap and James, take it away.
Thank you, and Hap. Let's cast.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, cast. On 3, cast.
There's nothing left to cast yet.
I'm trying to wake you up. Emmy, I could sense in map 1 or game 1 that Emmy was trying to really vitalize herself, and now, I mean, I assume you're up and ready to go, right, Hap?
I'm up and ready to go. I've been up since 7. It's 2 p.m. now, so, you know, I've got like half a day already under my belt. So, as we get these bands underway, of course, Club, very, very vanilla kind of map. Now, it has been changed ever since it released into the game, but I don't think anybody remembers the old Clubhouse unless they've been around and played it physically at that point. So,
back in the day.
Yeah, we're really back in the day. So every team that plays competitive, those two maps, Oregon and Clubhouse, that's something you can really make sure of. And one of them is the decider, and the other one we see right now. And that means that we have to see, as Talon start off on the attack, them plan out, you know, that step-by-step plan that is attacking Clubhouse.
Attackers need to locate.
Yeah, Clubhouse really is a staple map. There's the old adage, 2 things in life are certain, death and taxes. I feel like there are 4 things that are certain in life. Death, taxes, Clubhouse, and Oregon. We're always going to see Club and Oregon. And for Talon, like we said earlier, this really should be a favored game towards their side. DPLUS are the ones who have to have been doing their due diligence, researching and prepping for this game. And, well, the onus is on them. They do, however, start on the defense, so perhaps a little comfort start as we get into the first round.
10 seconds remaining. Bomb located by attacker.
Yeah, for sure. It is, you know, no longer CCTV for a while already. That is no longer the primary site. Actually swapped over to the opposite.
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
Seems to be quite doable for defense nowadays, but the attack is slowly starting to learn on how to deal with that side as well, more effectively. So who knows, maybe in a couple months we'll see another swap for primary site to come through. But for now, not really the case. And DK setting themselves up. It's a very early kill onto Yas. I believe it was rotating around. He just opened up the door and found a person right behind it. So great start for Talon.
Yeah, not ideal for DPLUS, not one bit. Talon, though, like you said, a great start. They're still persisting on this extended hold. I love this mirror pick here from Cody. He's actually been able to put one mirror on this external wall. However, it will be very easily dealt with by Ryder, one of the new players here on Talon, formerly of Panthera, who were one of the surprise upset teams in Stage 1. Now Ryder has had an upgrade, has joined one of the big 3 here in Korea. Let's see what he can achieve.
Deploying Selma!
Quick openings will be made in the jacuzzi wall, so no real problem there. So, of course, the next question is, will they have an opportunity to open up the bathroom wall as well? Now, there's no impact in Soldier's pockets, which means he's not going to be able to use those to stop any Selma from potentially swinging at him. So I don't think anybody else is close enough to try and stop that from truly coming through. JLT, in the meantime, is trying to find out about some information, spotting some goo mines, seeing what is clear and what is not. The Talon can truly weigh up their decisions here before they start and execute.
Talon already have a player right at the top of main stairs here, Misa. After the first pick he had found, he is ready for more. He's just spotted one player on the cross, but hasn't yet revealed his position. However, it looks like there is a spiral as all these players from the defense begin to fall. Soldier has found one back here for DPLUS. And even up the numbers, Soldier's doubling down. This is getting awkward now for Talon. They have the advantage. Misa's already made his way into Logi, but unfortunately trades himself. It's all up to JLT to take on Harper in this 1v1.
40 seconds is plenty of time for him to work with, though, so the drone, probably his biggest friend in this situation, spots out the player, gets his drone taken out, but at least it's information that he can work with here. So let's go for a rotate. Was thinking about going to Logi maybe, which is exactly where Harper has rotated himself into. Just gonna be holding tight here. Here's the shot. Meantime, the drop came through. He's inside the bathroom. GLT is going to be stuck by the goo mine. Gives it away to Harper as well, that he's inside the site. Plant's happening. Soon, 45 to be on the clock, but Harper here's the sound. He needs to go for a
Oh,
swing.
no!
He does that as well, but he misses the first opportunity. JLT comes around the corner and finds the kill nonetheless.
The 1 HP clutch hab. JLT, what a way to be welcomed onto this roster. Talon coming up massively with one of their newbies getting a clutch in the first round of Clubhouse. And I gotta say, Hap, I am very glad for Talon that they were able to get that across the line after such an advantage in the early round with 2 early picks. DPLUS brought it back thanks to some heroics from Soldier, who, by the way, is a former Talon player himself. Unfortunately, it goes to show JLT winning that clutch. It's the time of the rookies to show what they are worth. That's very much been the story of Rainbow Six in the last couple of years. And the trend is continuing here.
Yeah, for sure. There's been some teams, you know, that put up a rookie in their team, win a major instantly afterwards. So, who knows? Maybe that is the thing for Talon here. You know, put a rookie in the team and find yourself with a major.
It used to be that you get your coach to sub in and then you get free wins, right? Back in the Gotcha and the Dizzle meta, good old days. But now it's get yourself a nice rookie. And JLT and Ryder coming over from Panthera. Both of them had a great stage 1 with that roster. Panthera had some insanely good wins. Funnily enough, even beating Talon for the 3rd place match in the playoffs of South Korea. However, now that roster is no more, and Talon has picked up 2 of their favorite players from that team. Now, of course, DPLUS change up their bomb sites, losing that first one. Love this aggressive yokai usage.
It's always great to see a yokai just go aggressive. There's so much more than just a stun and a plan denial that you can utilize, right? Like, you can also help your roamers with it, and that's something we saw Koi do, for example, when they won that major. Their use of the yokai was so refreshing and helped them so much. Other teams started implementing it, and now more and more you get to actually see the roaming yokai to be around there to help and find information rather than just sit on the side and hold still and wait.
But now it is a bit of a waiting game for DPLUS. These 3 roamers, so Soldier, Coded, and the Yas are all on this top floor, somewhat separated. But this is likely a bit of a fall-off roam. Me and Emmy were talking a lot about this in the first match today. A lot of the goal of roaming these days is to look to shoot drones and then fall back, concede ground, but soak time. It looks like Yas has also managed to soak a kill or 2 with it. Over peaking now, looking for more. It's just 2 players left from Talon. Fortunately, Ryder finds 1 back, but these aggressive yokais are making his life a living hell.
Wasting some time, eventually the yokai's lost, but Soldier still being out there on that top floor near the logistics area. There's an opportunity to still waste time, find some kills, maybe put some more on the board. It seems like they're completely forgetting about him. And Sierra is picking up that drone. They're starting to descend down to the first floors. Of course, the basement is going to be the eventual choice they need to go for, the site that they need to take. And as they get themselves ready, they forget about the player up top. That's going to be a flank that could end this round for them. Of course, they're already massively disadvantaged here on Talon's side, but you definitely don't want to lose by a flank like that.
Yas was the other roamer, and Yas has now managed to get to the side, so it is just Soldier. Now remember, the Mute is now a 1-speed operator, so it does make a lot of noise on that flank. It's actually a decent chance here for Talon. 30 seconds is enough time to make this work. But DPLUS here are playing it so smart. Kill here for Talon could open up the round. That's why DPLUS, all they have to do is not.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Gas knows about the 1-person droning and also expects a player to come down from the main area of the staircase. Flashbangs are coming through. Soldier is coming in for the flank, but might be a little late as the time is soon to be running out. The FNAT blinding Sayora, needs to just push through completely blind and gets punished for it. Ryder finds 1, but nothing more than that. Gets shut down by Yas. That is going to be DK finding themselves with a round.
Look at that, Hat. Turns out that Talon are not all that after all. DPLUS on that basement with a big roam up top. Really get an early advantage there, and it's fairly rudimentary to confirm that advantage once acquired. DPLUS, we're talking about some insane players, some of the best gunners that Korea has ever seen. Talking about people like Yas, like Woogieman, even Soldier as well has started to make a serious name for himself. When DPLUS have those players firing on this roam game, when they've got tools like the Soulless to give themselves that extra kick, that extra advantage in that roam game, this is what you should expect.
Okay. CCTV then. And this is one of the most iconic sites in Siege. It's CG Sports, that is. Everybody knows how to attack this. You start by opening up the eastern wall that leads into CCTV. Once that's done, you have two choices. Either you open up the garage and you take control of the mezzanines, or you go for a construction site push, which means that garage might be a problem as soon as you start pushing it. So that's often why we do see a garage hold or take being made by the attack. And probably that's where the Monty from Misa will be coming in, and as well at the Capital Roybo, just to make sure that the player in the mezzanines is going to be flushed out.
Yeah, one of the key elements of these mezzanine defenses has been the Azami. Completely changed how powerful that position is. In conjunction with the Mamayan Jaeger, both of which are present, it's incredibly challenging for the attack to clear out that position. However, the Monty, as you said, and maybe even this Capital, could be the secret source for cooking up that top garage clear.
Now, of course, the Capital bolts do not get caught by the ADS, but of course they do get caught by the magnet discs. So, something you need to keep in mind when using that utility. So we're spotting it out right now. Spotting out some of the Kiba barriers you mentioned before that really basically allowed the mezzanines to be way more defendable than they used to be. Not that it seems like DK has really put that many up there on the mezzanines. I believe it's just one Believe panel 1 and 2. Might be just enough to help him out. Oh, there we go.
Sorry to interrupt, but have a look at that mirror window on the main breach.
Yes.
It's actually going to be very difficult to get a thermite charge to detonate there, if not impossible. And with the Bandit and the Kaid Band and the Maverick, this has gotten very awkward. And Talon now have to do some problem solving to figure out how they're going to breach that main CCTV wall.
That's it. There's 4 impact grenades, and those will be used on that mirror window, of course, as soon as a thermite charge goes down. So, even though the smokes are looking to be implemented here, Ryder will find a kill into Yas, looking to dig in even deeper. So Yura finds Harper.
Looks like soldiers on an island here on the mezzanine. There's been some big picks on site, and it looks like Talon have found an opening to flood the site without clearing the garage. But how will they get into a position to plan? Ryder is going to take the fight with the player at mezzanine, supported by the Capital's fire and the Monty's information. Now coated with a C4, unfortunately Blind finds nothing, and then completely shut out of the game. It's all up to Woogie Man in the 1v5. Oh, embarrassing for him. We get to see that caught in 4K after Woogie whiffs those shots, and JLT gets another closing kill to find the second round for Talon.
That was him expecting he had the kill, going on to the next, realizing it was in a very difficult position, and then having regrets in the middle of that transfer because he didn't get the kill. And that was caught by the observer at that moment. So, Talon, they take that lead, extend on it. Going back towards the gym and bedroom now. It's continuing the rotation for DK, even though they haven't won all those rounds. Only locked site right now is going to be the basement, so to make a choice, and decided that this one was way closer with the 1v1 in the end than the CCTV take was that we just saw.
Holistically, I think that this is a reasonably defender-favored operator ban. We didn't talk a lot about the op bans because it was sprung on us quite quickly. But with the Kaid and the Bandit and the Maverick banned out, all these 3 operators are all about hard break. Because you've got both the Bandit and the Kaid, the only wall denial, aside from impact tricks, as you described last round, is the mute. And the mute is very easy to counter. One of the easiest, if not the easiest, hard breach denial operator to counter. And so it means that hard breach is really just a given on all of these sites. You're going to bring the Thermite and likely the Ace every round, maybe the Hibana sometimes, and you're going to have a given you're going to get most of your breaches open. And it means that a lot of the other powerful X-Factor operators, your information gathering, your Valkyrie, your information denial, your Soulless, your Mirror, your Azami, these killer defensive operators are all left in the pool. And really, to me, the onus is on DPLUS to maximize the efficacy of these operators, because in theory, this should be a defensive-sided path.
Why would you put it there and not inside the bathroom, I'm wondering?
another wall with impact tricks, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's like, it's so much more useful to actually just put it on the other side and a mute jammer right behind it. Yes, it's easier to clear, but now it's just a Selma and it's over with.
This is just too late, isn't it? That impact trick is able to get the first detonation of that Selma. Another Selma to go on, and a second impact should clear that. But apparently not. Apparently these DPLUS Kia players were not quite ready for that second impact. There are still 4 impacts in pocket. And also a drone on site. There could be an opportunity here for Talon.
A big opportunity indeed. Should be a free opening into the bathroom as well as they spot a player just by the feet. Warboy gets taken down though by that blitz, and suddenly DK receiving pressure from multiple different sides. Going quite low. Talon kind of stuck at where they are though, because the construction is still being held by the side of DK. Guilty's trying to go for the challenge there. Finds the kill to Hopper as well, and now they know about his position inside gym. Player prone. Going to be sneaking right into each other's lines of sight. Possibly, no. Definitely DK looking to bring the fight outwards, though.
A very peculiar round from Talon is got DPLUS scratching their heads. They're just waiting for picks, and they find one. However, the trade comes through immediately. JLT, his position revealed. He's got a fantastic spot, but he can't really move thanks to the feet holes just around the corner. Oh, that's such a big kill. Yas has completely thrown a spanner in the works for Talon, and this retake is absolutely on now. Talon have to break through. There's another big pick for JLT. 5-1 right now. 6 should that kill on Dakota be confirmed. Sayora now jumping through the breach, looking for this player at top main. But Yas has completely vacated the position. There's 25 seconds left, and while JLT is able to confirm that kill, the onus is still on the attackers here. Yas still has a fantastic position, and Talon have not yet planted that diffuser. Sayora to start forcing it down, and it's on JLT to cover, but Yas to come from behind, finding the first. It's all up to Sayora. No flashes to utilize. The first pick, the second is not going to happen. A moment of celebration for Yas as he clutches the round. A bit of playful team kills there, and a great clutch for Yas and a great win for DPLUS.
Sayora almost had that though. He was like a couple pixels above the head of Yas and his transfer. And that could have been another great clutch to come through on that side, but it's going to be DPLUS that runs away with the round in the end. And of course, I do have, you know, some questions that why was the mirror window placed there, especially after you abandon it that quickly? They tossed a single impact and then decided, okay, then you can have it now. That's all we need.
Defenders, protect your bomb.
I'm still a bigger fan of having it onto the actual bathroom wall. And also going back towards the heavy ban on the electrification. The thing is, especially the walls, they should always open. It doesn't matter how good you are at tricking, because there is redundancy on the attack, right? Like if you're attacking the CCTV wall, you put a thermite on one wall, put the ace on the other, double EMP. There's nothing they can do. They might be able to trick one with the bandit, but they're definitely not going to get both. So that wall will open up. They're just completely embracing the fact that, well, these walls will open up. It is what it is. Let's just play all the other defenders. I think that might actually, as you mentioned, yes, help the defense because they're not going to be as hard stuck in trying to trick it.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Very true. There's so many little extra things to think about when you've got such a peculiar operator ban phase. Like, how is that going to affect the mini games on Clubhouse? Because Clubhouse, we talked about it. This is the bread and butter of Rainbow Six. This is a map where not only is your roam clearing ability and your power position clearing ability tested, but your hard breach mini games. One of the most hard breach centric maps in the game. You really need hard breach. You usually need 2 or 3 hard breaches on this map. How will Talon deal with this round? It looks like they do indeed just continue the duo with Thermite and Ace. Step 1 is the roam clear though.
Yeah, that's it. Down in the basement, of course, with the side, and they're realizing there's quite a lot of people upstairs, so they need to clear it. Just to completely circumvent it. That's also sometimes something that could be working out, especially if you see, oh, there's 3 people all the way upstairs. Well, there's only 1 or 2 ways back into the site, so if we hold those off and the rest just take the site, always have an opportunity to, of course, take it and overwhelm those forces. Still would like to just get rid of them before they become too much of a problem. Now Kota, he has been spotted. He's kind of stuck behind the gym weight series. He's trying to rotate around, gets behind the mattress, takes down Misa as well. Suddenly the trades are coming through though, so we're staying on a 4-on-4. So yes, now also aware of getting some yellow pings of a player inside the kitchen hallway.
Yas has been one of the most dangerous players in the server. Him and JLT both, but the unfortunate timing from Roy Boy. He starts looking downstairs. The worst possible moment. This roam is very much alive and well. Soldier is looking for a way to get back to site to try and consolidate the advantage for DPLUS. They are unfortunately missing that cutoff.
It was a shame when you miss out a rotation like that. That should be like a free kill to some extent. Not now. Yas hiding in strip. Now, this might be a very fun round for him. Because as soon as these hatches start opening up, he's going to be made aware of that by Woogieman right below them. And that's probably going to be the time when he's starting to rotate around. He still has 2 impacts as well to use to just burst open the wall if he really wants to.
I feel like there is still chance here for Talon. They're 1 player down. It's just so awkward, isn't it? Yas is still on this roam. They need to double down, triple down. What is their way back into this?
I'm not sure, but like they seem to be going very heavy for the triple wall here, and that means Yas is going to be so close to whatever is going to be happening. And as I said, he's going to use the impact to just break through. Everybody just dropped, and he can now play this from above and really be that spanner in the works. He's going to be making sure as he gets the very first kill. Drops to get down, though. Doesn't see the second person inside a motorcycle, but still, time runs out, and DPLUS is going to be able to take that round win. And as I said, like Yas just being out there in a strip, they don't know about him. As soon as they drop, he's going to have some free kills.
Yeah, a real strange round, that's for sure. And unfortunately, Talon were caught between a rock and a hard place, an impossible decision. They had to choose between either trying to hunt down that Solus and fully clear the map, which was never going to work, or just pushing the side and ignoring and trying to cover their flanks, and that also was unlikely to work as well. As a result, DPLUS started to run away with this Hayhap. This defense has started to really pick up a lot of momentum.
Yeah, for sure. And those, first couple of rounds, Talon able to put something up, but we're back towards CCTV now, and that's kind of where I worry, because DPLUS would really love to end this half with a 2-4 split. Usually would expect the tertiary sites to go towards the attack. However, we are now at that CCTV, and that is going to be the, well, especially how we saw it go last time, easy attack for Talon. They just managed to walk in and kill everybody that was in sight from DK. So there needs to be a change. There needs to be an adjustment. And from what I'm seeing so far, there's not really any adjustment out there. So probably just see Misa harass the player on top of mezzanines again. Probably going to see Roy Boy try and do the exact same with those arrows. And just take control of what they need.
I'm deep in thought, Hap. I'm deep in thought with concern for Talon as we go into the final attack. The clubhouse, should we go overtime, perhaps we will go to more attacks for Talon. This bomb site in particular was one of their best attacks, right? Like, this was that fantastic, just advantageous moment where they say, okay, look, there's no one in sight, let's start to push through. We don't have to hard clear rafters. And then they, after already having CCTV control cleared rafters, and Monty and the Capitao are back once again. This just seems like a perfect opportunity for Talon to even up this half.
Do you agree with me that these mirror windows currently just feel useless? It's like, yes, it makes the breach a bit awkward now, but they're not doing anything with it. You could have just stopped the extra thermic from going off by using an impact. I'm not sure what they're doing, DK. It's not like they're receiving so much pressure that they do not have the opportunity to quickly step out and toss the impact.
Feels like they're really focusing on the Monty. Like, they're so scared about this push. In fact, there are 2 players in rafters and the support from the smoke all the way from at top red stairs. Woogieman can toss smoke canisters all the way over and try and damage that Monty as he walks in the garage or up the stairs. There's 2 impacts in pocket though for Soldier, and that could actually be used to try and be a real pain for this Monty. He's actually going to use them in just a moment, I expect. He's got his teammate to try and look for shots onto the feet. This is not easy. And Misa's, sustained a huge amount of damage there. The smoke could actually finish off the Monty here, but here comes the Capital's fire as well. Yas, the player to support, has also been taken down. Soldier is in a terrible position, but still manages to deal damage. The Monty barely survives, and Soldier, oh! He's got the Monty now! And Soldier has completely won this position for DPLUS Kia against his former team. Soldier rips Talon to pieces. JLT and Ryder, the two newbies on the squad, have a hell of a task ahead of him. JLT's got to win this one. He eventually does put Soldier to bed, but only after he has done so very much damage. 25 seconds now for Talon to conjure up magic out of thin air.
Boogeyman with their trigger discipline there. He saw the gun jump by, but he knows he cannot really do anything yet. GLT about to be moving in, looking to go for a plant in the default position, but as you have it there, Boogeyman shows himself. Code is still below with that nitro cell. He's not going to find anything. And now GLT has an opportunity to go for a plant, but the time will run out. And as Harper needs to go for a retake very quickly here to make sure there's no fighting opportunity, which has just been created. But there it is. Coda comes in from the side to clutch it out in a final moment there. That almost went south after such an heroic start from Soldier.
That was unreal. What a round, honestly, Hap. That was full of excitement.
You saw the stress.
Yeah, you could visibly feel it. While spectating him, I had secondhand stress from watching him, and yet he dealt with it perfectly. I don't know how that, like, there was a moment where the Monty took like 80 damage. And what was that from? Because the two impacts didn't do much. I wonder if it was the Azami's impact might have landed behind the Monty.
Behind him. Yeah, so that's the thing. You need, when you're facing a Monty, you need to get it behind him. So what you saw Soldier doing, who was actually throwing him in front of the Monty, which of course does cause the stagger effect, which if you're quick enough, you can actually get a bullet or two in the feet. Which he didn't, but then the Azami was able to get it behind him because he set a step forward, and that's what dealt all that damage. Fortunately, not a second one to follow up to get that kill. And thus you saw Soldier, like, I think that would be one of the most stressful positions you can be in competitive Siege. On the mezzanines with fire behind you, a Monty in front of you, and two people pushing the staircases. Like, you're not supposed to live.
10 seconds left.
No.
But he lived.
And, yeah, he lived and he got 3 kills from the position as well. It was truly amazing from Soldier. Talon, you could point at them and say, look, there's so many little things that they could have done, but they didn't make any glaring mistakes, right? That Monty gave a lot of information. I can't remember which player it was, but the first player to move up the stairs and lose the 1v1 fight, and that was just unfortunate, mostly. And you could nitpick and say the Monty had to unshield at that exact moment to try and get the refrag, but it was just slightly too little, slightly too late. And as a result, DPLUS have a well-deserved 4-2 defensive half. Now they look to their attacks.
Yeah, they managed to get the 4-2 split they needed. Unlike, like, even though they were on the CCTV for the final defense, again, great call to come through. But now they need to step it up again. They need to go for the attack, and that means clearing out those top 2 floors as quickly as you can to buy yourself as much time as possible to actually go for an execute, because that's the bane of most basement attacks. The lack of time. Sometimes you see people dropping hatches with only 15 seconds left, trying to go for a Hail Mary push. That usually does go wrong. So, good information coming through, including that mirror window being out there, which will be focusing on the main stairs. And for those of you that don't know, you only shoot 2 Excaros because you only have a limited amount of them, and these impacts will try and get rid of those Excaros. So, that way, you keep as much Heartbreach in your pockets as possible necessary for later on.
Yeah, it's a good move. Pretty run-of-the-mill, pretty classic from Harper here. I believe the hatch has now been opened as well. This is good progress on the attack. Now, when we saw Talon attacking this site, they really struggled, didn't they? But that was mostly due to the roam game. There really isn't much, if any, of a roam here from Talon on their defense. They're focusing on the site. Fortunately for them, DPLUS actually have already identified quite a bit of information on that site.
And it's not just about the fact that they know almost everybody's inside, but they also know where the mirror windows are located, and that gives them the opportunity, of course, to decide what call it is going to be. And By the way that it's currently being opened up and eyed up, it might just as well be what kitchen plant take, I say, as they're actually with the diffuser on the main stairs with Misa right behind it and the shotgun in the mirror window, so that could be problematic, especially with that C4 still out there.
So, if you can land a shot here, it would be massive. You can take down this player bot main, and that's it. It's Soldier as well, one of the most dangerous players in the server after a huge round just gone by. There's a C4 in pocket as well. If this could land, the numbers advantage could even be furthered here. Coded drops straight to Riders awaiting arms. And this attack from DPLUS here has completely fallen to pieces here. Harper also making a desperate drop. Yas is down inside a moto. Woogieman drops and is likely to die in just a moment. Looking for the FNAT from Fenrir as it finally subsides. There is the final kill. A massive round from Misa on that mirror in Church. Completely saved it and started to bring this back here for Talon.
Also, the critique I'm going to be giving DPLUS, it was just one by one by one by one. There was no like coordinated push to come through. They tried to go, but like so much downtime in between the people dropping the hatches that they really just had the opportunity on Talon's side to watch left, watch right, watch through the middle, and we got all kills, round secured. Let's go on to the next. If you want to go for a hatch drop like that, you need to make sure that it is at least going to be somewhat synchronized. You need to be attacking all fronts at the same time to overwhelm them. Otherwise, you're just going to give them time to respond to each and every single push that you're making.
Yeah, I think it was one of those moments of desperation where DPLUS are like, oh, I know that there's some chaos because I've just lost a player somewhere else, so I'm going to try and quickly just do something surprising, see if I can win back that advantage. Of course, we know that that was never going to work, and I think that's a good identification from Talon to go for this really solid defense, just like full anchor. You have so many pieces of util, the Azami's keeper barriers, the mirrors, the FNATs, that just fortify the bomb site and play against any of that aggression, and that was really perfect from them. Credit to them. Let's see if they can adapt that to the other bomb sites, because that's the thing that concerns me a bit for Talon here. Fantastic full turtle defense, but we're moving to two very different bomb sites henceforth. You can't just have good Church and Arsenal. This is the only site where you can just sit on, like, in the basement the whole round. You're also going to have a good hold here on CCTV and Gym Bedroom.
Still sitting in the basement, it's just not going to be working out for you that well.
That's right.
So, Talon, they need to show something here, and the big change I'm seeing on DK's push here is that they have a Blitz in pocket rather than a Monty. Now, I don't think the Blitz is going to be running up the staircase in that garage onto the mezzanine, because the feet are exposed. It's quite easy to actually get rid of a Blitz, especially if you're running through long corridors. Blitz is going to be really good in these CQB areas where you can really, like, close corner and, like, 2 meters distance before the next doorway. That's something that DK will have to find and use him in, which will most likely be to clear out the opposite side of the map towards construction.
Pretty impressed with how much capital we're seeing from both teams. Not an operator that has been in the meta recently, but seeming to have a resurgence. Specific pocket picks. Here comes the fire, but unfortunately we've got a player lost. It's a rush inside a cache. At the end of the trades, it looks like we're in even happenstance. Unfortunately, as I say that, Soldier goes down, and DPLUS have lost all advantage that they might have gleaned for themselves.
Not really sure what happened there, like when they decided to go for that rush or why they decided to go for that rush. Given the first one to instantly go down with that shield definitely didn't help. There's a couple more players, and now Talon, well, they have basically everything they need to set themselves up. That's the ponytail spotted. Coded finds a very important kill to Roy, but I'm not quite sure why he tried to move there. Maybe he wanted to go between panel 1 and 2 rather than be on the corner. That opens up an opportunity now. No longer is the garage heavily being watched. That means DK now have a direct way through, especially with Yas being out on the balcony as well.
Door's been left ajar for DPLUS after Roy Boy gifted a free kill. Yeah, Coded's now dispatched with the key information on the site. Now Misa still has Solus Gadget to check for plants later on. There's not a ton of util here for DPLUS. 1 Lion scan remains. No C4s for Plantanal from Talon's POV, but hang on, the diffuser, I didn't realize, is actually just down inside a hatch. So, yeah, wow, DPLUS have to go deep. There is no choice about it. Yas moving up from top red stairs. It's a very good fortified position, and Ryder finds the first. The second player already snuck into CCTV and then into Cash, and Misa's dropped below to go deny the plant from downstairs. As the plant goes off, there's 7 seconds for the defenders to deny it, and Ryder somehow gets to top red in time. And a good defense from Talon ties up the scoreline here, 4 rounds apiece.
That's why I'm confused with the rush from DPLUS there. They had the operators to bring this in nice and surgically, right? They had everything they needed to attack CCTV successful there. Then they decided to just go in with 3 people. Also, where was the flank watch at that moment, right? You had a player on highway that was, well, not having any windows open, was looking for a jump out from the bedroom possibly to come through. But I think it's more important you actually have construction lockdown if you're rushing through, because suddenly that's the back. And if you're afraid of a person in the bedrooms, well, they're going to try and get back through construction to flank the people that are inside the site. So, some slight mistakes, I think, on the side of DPLUS. They're trying to bring it as quick as they did. That means they have lost the advantage they had. And now on to gym and bedroom to see if they can win a tertiary site before the next rotation starts.
Yeah, this is a very telling moment, Hap. DPLUS, of course, it is. This is a Talon map pick, and DPLUS starting on the defense managed to get an early lead, but this is where likely they will falter as the team who this map was picked against as Talon on an 8 clubhouse win streak. The onus really is on DPLUS here to have attacks that have a bit more teeth. Now, I appreciate the idea behind going for a rush like that. They just know how solid Talon's defenses are, and they don't want to play into their hands. But like you're saying, there's so many little things that can go wrong with a rush that you really have to be perfect at it to have confidence doing it, especially if it's something you're looking to do more than once.
I definitely agree with you there. So, Talon, how are you going to hold on to this side? And it seems like they're doing a very, very extensive hold all the way over towards CCTV, and that's obviously because when highway is getting pushed, have the opportunity to quickly punch out that window and open up to whoever is standing out there. Mirror window has been dispatched, but that means that now impacts are coming through. That's going to be the trouble. You don't want to be opening up with 2 in a row here, guys. You want to make sure that it's going 1 by 1, otherwise it's very easy to just trick you out of all of your reaching capability. It seems like nothing will be replied to, and they just get a free opening with the Selma.
Demise is going dark!
Nice, but to be honest, hard breach is not everything. This is decent though. Getting that hard breach onto the bathroom wall, especially while there's a player on rappel, eliminates so many positions that can be played for the defense on site here. Now with that external construction wall opened as well, Talon's really feeling a bit of pressure. They haven't lost much map control, with DPLUS just poking holes in the defense and gaining information from these great site drones. Opens up chance for them to look for some kind of exploit.
That's what they're doing right now. Getting these drones in, seeing where these players are, and sometimes you're like, oh, they don't see anybody. How is that good? Well, no information is also information. You know there's no one in the area. You can focus more on the probable hard points you need to be getting through, like the bathroom, like the logistics area. As GLT gets spotted, I believe he might have just taken down 2 drones with that 1 impact there. That would not be great for them.
No information is information, but it also makes you very suspicious, doesn't it? If I can't see any players, where are they? What are they planning? How can I just run in here? Is there a chance? It looks like for Woogie Man, he's putting his chance here on the Candelas as they ring in through logistic. Talon aware of it. JLT's got a great position, but he loses the 1v1 to Soldier. Roy Boy now holding on inside a Master. He is the next one to fall for Talon. Misa looking for an aggressive pick, but all of the DPLUS players are now dropping like flies. Up to Misa and Sayora. Oh, the 180! Harper might have saved this round. 1 HP as Coden's looking to force down this plant. And the chance here for Sayora lies on this 1 versus 2 clutch. Soldier already down. Coden finished off. It's a 1v1 with Harper on 1 HP. And this plant in a very difficult position for Sayora. He's going to have to jump outside. Reveals his position, and on the jump in, the 1 HP Harper is there and ready to lock in the round. For DPLUS, they've taken the lead once again.
It was a risky play from Harper there to take the gunfight when he was jumping back in with that 1 HP because the Vector, such a high fire rate, but of course he knew exactly where he was. He knew when the jump in was coming through. All he had to do was just hit more rounds before Roybo was able to hit one. That jump in. Well done there. Paid off, and as you said, they retake that lead. Now, 2 rounds away from locking off this first map. And the basement is going to be up next for Talon. So a very desynchronized kind of push coming out from DPLUS here. Kind of hope that they will improve on that. I do see a fuse on the board, which is going to be quite fun. Don't see the operator too often. Very good at just clearing out utility.
There's a lot of things that you can do with the fuse. Sometimes teams just use the fuse just to create vertical lines of sight, not actually to then fuse the bomb site. So for example, if you're in logistic, if you just fuse the floor of logistic, that will open up a lot of the floor in kitchen without you being vulnerable to C4s. In theory, I've seen people have like the 2 floor angles. They're sitting in logistic and they've got the logistic floor open, and then beneath that they've got the kitchen floor open, and they're sitting in logistic, you know, not vulnerable to any of the 3 C4s that in this case have been brought by Talon. Not to mention the ability to actually fuse hatches. The Coyote is banned after all, so you can fuse these reinforced hatches. Try and clear utility. I would love to see one on the motor hatch, because that would clear out some of the FNATs, for example, and some of the other utilities.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, especially if you place them underneath these hatches, just put a fuse charge there, and everything underneath it has just been cleared out quite effectively. So it could be. Oh, actually, they repicked off it. Never mind. It's a shame.
That is so disappointing. We spent like 40 seconds talking about fuse, and then they just.
Yes, come on, DK. Like, why would you do that to us?
Come on, guys. I'm excited. I want to see the fuse. I guess this is a much more fundamental lineup, right? Like, we got so much hard breach available. You got the Ace, which you could use on the triple wall. Same with the Hibana. You got Thatcher, which I don't really know what the Thatcher is meant to be used for here, to be honest. Like, the only thing that's really countering is, like, Mirror. Sorry, the mute.
Might have to do with the FNATs to make sure that when you go for a push, you're not completely blinded if you cannot clear it out first. Or for magnets if you want to get a grenade where it needs to be. Think of the mirror window on the triple wall. Of course, you can get a Thatcher up above. We'll be getting the magnets, and then you can throw in a nade to bounce off on the mirror window.
Bad idea. Couple of ways that DPLUS could use it. At the moment, DPLUS have just solidly taken map control. Once again, Talon not looking to roam at all, just all 5 on site, well, 4 on site and 1 in dirt, which is basically site, let's be real. Last time they defended this, it was really Misa at the bottom of main stairs on that mirror window at Church that won the round for them. 3 kills from that position. This is a really awkward angle for Harper, because if he overpeaks too much, he's actually vulnerable to someone shooting him from down through vertical holes. At least he'll likely get the hatch open here.
At least he got 2 on it, and he's going to be getting a different angle now to get second. Hear that? EMP? Is that going to be the grenades for him? No, it's a Selma actually to go off. So, mirror window taken care of. It's just to make sure that they had the opportunity to open up the triple wall.
Yeah, that's perfect, and this is really awkward now for me. So the player that essentially won the round last time we played here is now in a world of pain. Shotgun, though, in an aggressive position. They can probably see the shotgun barrel. They've droned him out. He's caught in the worst place possible and completely taken down as Yas has gotten the side but been traded back. Talon are still a player down, but they have a good position. And DPLUS are the ones that have to move in the last 15 seconds. Oh, the trigger discipline from Ryder. Just letting him pass, hearing the plant begin, needing to find this pick onto the player at bot main, but taken down. The discipline. Ah, devious it is for DPLUS. And they steal a round that surely should have been Talon's.
Alright, so you want to know what a trigger discipline was practiced there? Because that's an ace. That's a heart breach. You know what that means? There's usually a diffuser with that as well. So he was hoping to waste as much time as possible before killing that person. But then here's the plant, and you saw the realization is like, oh no, got the wrong guy.
And it was too late by that point, wasn't it? He had like 5 seconds. There was a window of about 5 seconds he could have killed the ace for free. He knew as soon as he did that, he would get traded back from someone else. Oh, that is
he just wanted the diffuser, that was it.
Yeah. Oh, that is utterly gut-wrenching for Talon. Now the map point is in DPLUS's hands. Talon have taken their tactical timeout, but this may well be too late.
It might be, but of course we are not playing for points here. We're playing for map victory. So if Talon have a good opportunity and a good thought of what they need to do to bring it across the finish line here, better take it now and use it.
Wow. They're
Now, it
going
seemed
back
like
to
they
the
were going
exact same
CC,
bomb
but-
site.
Yeah, I was gonna say they changed
decision.
it.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
I think that's
defused
probably
by
the right
attackers.
decision. To DPLUS's credit, right, compared to the first attack of Church Arsenal, they completely changed the strategy. They used the Thatcher and the Ace to counter that Church Wall position. And now that Talon are aware of that, they will look at what kind of a way they might be able to counter that counter. And I think it might be... I actually don't know what they're planning on doing at the moment. You can impact trick those Selmas, but I'm not sure if that's cooked up. But DPLUS, though, look at this lineup. This is a CCTV attack lineup. I think they're only just realizing that it's actually basement.
Yeah. Yeah, they droned it out, probably saw there was no one there and quickly recalled for a different strategy to come through.
Attackers' objective
The blitz
is
to be
locate
out
bomb
there.
and defuse it.
Didn't really work out when we were attacking the top floor. Not sure if it will work out this time when there's like basement attack. Hatches, such long hallways as well. Kind of worries me.
Yeah. When DPLUS play slow and steady and thorough, as long as they actually have an adequate plan for dealing with all the obstacles, like that triple wall and church, for example, DPLUS win those rounds. But when DPLUS take unnecessary risks, I think they tend to suffer. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of this blitz pick. And the OSA to boot.
Just wondering where the Osa is going to be used for. Maybe dirt tunnel takes, see if they can plant in there, if they have blue as well under control.
It was a bit finicky sometimes, the...
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Or
itself.
dropping down the kitchen hatch with the shield in hand so you don't instantly get shot. Then walk
No,
to the
no,
back of the side
I
and see if you can plant there.
I hate the sound of both of those plans, Hap. It sounds like so many things
hate
can
it
go
as well.
wrong.
I hate it as well. It's just the only thing I really see this work. Potentially, not like it. I don't think it will work, but I think that's the plan they have.
Yeah. Not filled with confidence, to be honest. I think that Talon, based on the operator picks, have the advantage here. DPLUS ready and waiting for you to prove me wrong.
Oh, that's the angle you talked about before. Just trying to find a kill. Ryder using the impact there to try and use it as a bit of a bait to get the player back out there. Second impact will be failing, gets nothing, and that means the hatch will be opened up.
Down comes the drone as well. Spots this Azami Kiba that covers off deep angles, loses the drone. The player in church.
Slapping mags!
Where is the brunt of this push going to be for DPLUS? I think you're right. It looks like it is dirt, as now that door has been opened up by Yas.
Some long angles, but that's all DPLUS really has here. Opening up the hatches still. The Osa is near blue. Blitz is going to be dirt, so that makes sense, I guess. Pushing the, down through dirt, pretty curvy. Have a good opportunity to potentially find someone by surprise out there, but if there's nobody in there, which is the case, you're just going to be walking out in an open room right afterwards. So many angles you have to cover.
You might be right. The Osa's going to drop the hatch. But the problem is C4s are going to be devastating here. Roy Boy is going to need to be addressed. Sayora has a beautiful angle on the hatch. The C4 comes over. Surely. Oh, it doesn't land. It doesn't go deep enough. And Sayora is traded on back. The blitz works wonders for Wookie Man as Roy Boy is taken down. And Talon are completely obliterated. It's a flawless rounds for DPLUS as they storm away with map number 1.
Well, I'm happy I was at least right about the Osa player there. They were going to be dropping down the hatch. Not that it mattered too much because everybody just died right after. But before we head to the next map, let's head to a very quick break.